Bradford City are through to the second round of the FA Cup after a 3-1 victory against National League side Aldershot Town, and in today's video we are going to be reacting to the game. Now obviously with it being the FA Cup, the game wasn't available to watch anywhere. I couldn't even fly to Spain for the day and then watch it over there, which was frustrating. I wasn't ever really planning on going to the game. Aldershot at home is not the most entertaining of matches, and for like £18 a ticket all in, just not really worth it. But after a pretty poor first half, the second half we managed to get the job done. A few unique goal scorers as well for the Bantams as well, some much needed goals in there for us, lots of changes in the starting 11 and all that sort of stuff. But if you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. 100 likes on today's video will be massively appreciated, and don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. And obviously there's going to be no vlog, and there was also no live stream as well, so we're going to do a match reaction, 8-10 minutes, something like that, talking about the game and some of the other results who we potentially want in the second round as well. So let's get into it. So here we have the starting 11. I think there was 6 changes in total. Sam Walker kept his place in the side, Brad Halliday got the start over Check Diabate, Neil Byrne also got the start, and Jack Shepherd I think was a pretty obvious one, as we know he's going to be banned for next Saturday's clash away at Fleetwood due to them 5 yellow cards, so it made sense to play him in this one, and I would expect him to play on Tuesday as well. Jay Ben kept his place at right wing back. Corey Evans came into the side. This formation I think is slightly wrong. I think Kavanagh was playing in front of Smallwood and Evans. Obviously Smallwood once again kept his place in the side. Callum Kavanagh was restored back into the starting 11. Lewis Richards as well, he got the start as well. He's been in and out of the side quite a lot recently, but I think especially even after today's performance, he should be the starting left back next week against Fleetwood. Tyreek Wright not even included in the matchday squad. Leading the line was Viden Oliver, who came in for Andy Cook, and also Ollie Sanderson, who was recalled to the matchday squad. On the bench we had the likes of Jamie Walker, Andy Cook, Bobby Poynton, Chet Diabate, Colin Doyle, Tyler Smith, Paul Huntington, and young George Goodman as well for I think his first senior inclusion. So no Gabriel Wadsworth, the likes of Zach Hady, that's the one that I'm looking for. He's not included on the bench as well. So that was a team that we went with, and I didn't really have too many complaints. I would have liked to have seen Huntington start over Neil Byrne, but I guess Byrne has been quite important in a lot of the recent games under Graham Alexander, so it did make sense to keep him in there for his leadership. But you look at the first half, obviously 1-0 down at half-time, Jack Barham with the goal. I haven't had the opportunity to actually watch the goals back yet. The highlights have not been published. I was going to wait to see how they kind of played out and all that sort of stuff, but I'm pretty sure that for the FA Cup highlights don't come out until midnight. I could be wrong, but for league highlights Bradford City normally get it out about 6-7 o'clock, but then for the FA Cup I'm pretty sure there's some sort of rule where they can't be uploaded on the same day. Like I say, I could be wrong, so I haven't had the benefit of watching them back. I listened to a lot of the game on the radio as well, but yeah, Aldershot took the lead. It sounded like Oliver kind of lost the ball and it was poor hold-up play, and then eventually Aldershot went through and converted. But 5 minutes into the second half we did manage to draw ourselves back level. Viden Oliver finding himself on the score sheet. I think Corey Evans won the ball back, played it to Callum Kavanagh. His pass, shot, whatever it was, eventually found its way into Viden Oliver, who managed to tap into the back of net, which is obviously good news. And then just 15 minutes later, we would take the lead in the game. I think Jay Ben put a ball in, and the defender, Christian Magoma, could only convert into his own goal. And just 3 minutes later, Callum Kavanagh would finally have his first competitive goal of the season as well. Obviously scored against Sunderland in pre-season, but since then has looked really poor and has struggled. I've seen a lot of people say that they quite enjoyed Callum Kavanagh's performance today, which is obviously positive news. It's about them players who got the half chance in today's squad doing it again in the league when they do get the opportunity. I would expect Tuesday night starting 11 to be something similar to the one that we've gone with in this one. I would expect the likes of Jay Ben maybe to get a bit of a rest, potentially Richie Smallwood, but the likes of Oliver, Evans, Kavanagh, Sanderson, I would fully expect all them to be starting. Even Tyler Smith as well. He didn't get on to the pitch today, so I would definitely expect Smith to start, but I would certainly expect a few changes in defence. Obviously I guess it does all kind of depend on player availability and all that sort of stuff. But we got the job done after what sounded like Aldershot with a better team in the first half. I think Callum Kavanagh missed a decent chance quite early on in the game. Second half, they seemed to kind of run a bit out of steam. They had a good one-on-one opportunity as well, but thankfully they didn't convert that. Statistically, we were clearly the much better side. Very dominant, like I say, in that second half. 17 shots to their 6 on target to their 2. Dominated possession as well. They had slightly more fouls. Only the 1 yellow card in the entire match. That was for Czech Diabate, and we also had 9 corners compared to their 3. I don't think Aldershot are going to do too much in the league this season. I'm pretty sure they're 17th in the National League, but I do wish them all the very best for the season as well. Crowd was around 4,500, 5,000, something like that, and nearly 500 coming from Aldershot, which I think is absolutely amazing support. They were probably expecting 10,000, 15,000 turn up for Bradford City, but it never normally does happen in the first round of the FA Cup, especially when ticket prices weren't particularly amazing considering the opponent, with all due respect. But big credit to them near 500 Aldershot fans who did make the journey up, because that's not the easiest of journeys to do. Now we'll have a look at the teams who got through into round 2 and maybe throw some suggestions out about who we all want for the second round. Now I guess in the second round you kind of want a as low league as possible side, if that does make sense, at home, and then when the third round comes around, that's when you want a Man United away, a Liverpool away, something like that. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've got into the second round of the FA Cup since 2020, which is absolutely crazy. But we'll go through it and have a look, see if there were any shock results. Burton, again, they've been really poor so far this season. They only just managed to scrape past Scarborough. Carlisle lost once again at home to Widdrington, and I think that game went to extra time. Exeter put 5 past Barnet, who also put 3 past Exeter, so that's a pretty decent scoreline, you know, 8 goals in that one. Wealdstone went away to Grimsby and managed to progress through into the next round. This Rochdale-Bromley game, I don't know if I'm able to click on this, this was absolutely crazy. Bromley were 2-0 up after 3 minutes, then Rochdale turned it around to be winning 3-2. Bromley scored a 91st minute equaliser, a 92nd minute winner, and then they got a red card in the 93rd minute as well. Absolutely crazy stuff, the definition of the magic of the FA Cup. Cheltenham went away to Rotherham and put 3 goals past them. Salford beat Shrewsbury, who continue to struggle. The Southend-Charlton game, again, very similar in terms of the late goals. We saw a 93rd minute equaliser from Southend send the game into extra time, where eventually Charlton would win it in the 121st minute as well. Absolutely crazy stuff. Big shout out to Guiseley. They took Stevenage all the way to penalties and were one spot kick away from progressing through. They missed, and eventually Stevenage managed to go through. I think Jake Young and Liam Rideout both did score their respective penalties. Tranmere lost at home to Oldham. Walsall beat Bolton as well, which is a really good scoreline. And then apart from that, I guess Morecambe winning a football match is positive news. So in terms of who I want in the next round, give us a Harbour at home, something like that. With all due respect to them, obviously Rushall have gone out there, but I'd even take whoever's gone through. Apparently penalties has finished 4-4. Gainsborough or Hednesford, something like that at home would be very nice for us. But again, we can't be complacent. Whoever we get, we've got to take it and get the job done. There are still some pretty big teams left in here, considering what sort of teams you can get in round 2. I think Wigan are a fairly decent sized football club. Blackpool away, not been there in a while. Peterborough away, Barnsley, Reading. There are still some pretty big football clubs. Charlton, Stockport, all left in this competition. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know specifically when the draw is. It's normally on the night after the final game. I could be wrong though. Maybe Monday. I guess we'll have to wait and see. If anybody does know, let me know down in the comment section down below. But important for us to get through into the next round. That, as always, is the most important thing. Obviously, anyone who was at the game, your opinion matters the most. Let me know how we got on and all that sort of stuff down in the comment section down below, because obviously I wasn't able to watch it. I've only really listened to Jamie Werner, Andy Kwomney giving their thoughts on the radio, so I'd be very interested to hear what your guys' thoughts were. Great to see Oliver and Kavanagh scoring in a fixture which really matters. I know they've got a couple goals in the EFL trophy like Vinen Oliver, but he's not scored a proper goal for Bradford City in a while, and obviously he's not scored a league goal for nearly 2 years now. Callum Kavanagh, great for him to finally break his duck this season after he's had a really poor start. Hopefully he can kick on as well now. And I think Jamie Rayner actually mentioned Andy Cook came on off the bench and was hobbling a little bit and looked in a bit of discomfort, so hopefully he's fine for Tuesday. I don't think we'll really need him for that, but at the very least he needs to be fine for Saturday as well, because Fleetwood away without Jack Shepherd is going to be a tough one. But I'll leave it there then for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. 100 likes on today's video will be massively appreciated, and like I mentioned before, let me know down below your thoughts on today's game. Who played well, who played poorly, and how do you assess today's 3-1 victory at home to Aldershot Town as Bradford City progress through into the second round of the FA Cup.